Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Thomas Jefferson. We're going to talk about Thomas Jefferson and Monticello and American history and American mythology and Fox News. We're going to do this because Fox brought on a guest who had recently gone to Monticello. That's Jefferson's home. And the guest was bothered by the fact that the tour, which is an educational experience, was very frank about some of the things that Jefferson had done. And if you don't know, Jefferson did some messed up stuff. And the tour, according to the guest, just frankly admitted it and talked about it. Okay? This prompted the guest to suggest that Monticello had gone woke, suffered from wokeism. This, of course, prompted a lot of conversation on social media where people were discussing all of the horrible stuff that Jefferson did. And there were people saying that we shouldn't talk about this, that, he didn't know any better, that it was just the times, and that this is just woke revisionism. I have kind of a hot take here. I'm going to suggest that Jefferson knew slavery was evil. He knew it was a moral depravity. He knew it was a hideous blot, and he did it anyway. I am further going to say that Jefferson would be happy knowing that people today were criticizing him for engaging in it. No, bold claim, right? Yeah, those are his words. He said that. Jefferson, a person who engaged in slavery a lot, referred to it as evil, referred to it as a moral depravity, referred to it as a hideous blot. He also said, I am happy in believing that the conviction of the necessity of removing this evil gains ground with time. He knew all of that stuff. He knew it was horrible. He knew it was wrong. He did it anyway. And he also knew that on a long enough timeline, the attitudes of people in general towards slavery would change, and they would look at it and see horror on horror's face. They would recognize it as evil, and that they would see it as a necessity to remove it. So, unless you believe that Thomas Jefferson had absolutely no foresight, no understanding of history, no understanding of the way people just are, unless you believe that, you can't say that you shouldn't criticize him. Because he, in fact, would be happy about it by his own writings. He knew it was going to happen. You can't say that Thomas Jefferson wasn't aware of the fact that people tend to criticize those who engaged in barbaric behavior in the past. He did it himself. Aside from that, not addressing this, not addressing somebody who was as formative to the United States as Thomas Jefferson, not addressing their history, not talking about it hundreds of years later so others can learn from it. That's not history. That's American mythology. That's the belief that these people were infallible. They weren't. They were people just like everybody else. They made mistakes. They did horrible things. Sometimes they did horrible things that they knew were depraved. And they did them anyway. Monticello didn't go woke. As is often the case, people are mistaking just history for being woke, because history is aware of injustice. Thomas Jefferson was aware of the injustice too, and he would be happy to know that people today were criticizing him for it. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.